ਸਤਿ ਸ਼੍ਰੀ ਅਕਾਲ, ਸਵਾਗਤ ਹੈ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਸਾਰਿਆਂ ਦਾ ਇਨਫੋਕਸ ਪ੍ਰੋਗਰਾਮ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ। ਟੋਰਾਂਟੋ ਤੋਂ ਮੈਂ ਹਾਂ ਜਸਲੀਨ ਕੌਰ। ਇੰਟਰਨੈਸ਼ਨਲ ਵਿਮਨਸ ਡੇ ਇੱਕ ਅਜਿਹਾ ਦਿਨ ਜੋ ਹਰ ਸਾਲ ਦੁਨੀਆ ਭਰ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਸੈਲੀਬ੍ਰੇਟ ਕੀਤਾ ਜਾਂਦਾ ਹੈ। ਜੇ ਗੱਲ ਕਰੀਏ ਕੈਨੇਡਾ ਦੀ ਤੇ ਪਾਰਲੀਮੈਂਟ ਤੋਂ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਵੱਖ-ਵੱਖ ਸੰਸਥਾਵਾਂ ਤੱਕ ਜੈਂਡਰ ਇਕੁਐਲਿਟੀ ਯਾਨੀ ਕਿ ਔਰਤਾਂ ਦੇ ਬਰਾਬਰੀ ਦੇ ਹੱਕ ਨੂੰ ਸਹਿਯੋਗ ਦਿੰਦੀਆਂ ਹਨ। बेशक औरतां दे बराबरी दे हक की चर्चा हर पासे है, पर जे गल करिए घरेलू हिंसा के आंकड़ियां दी ते यह नंबर्स घटन की बजाय लगातार वध रहे हैं। ऐसे ते आधारित रहेगा साडा इन फोकस का अज का एपीसोड। साल 2019 ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਗ੍ਰੇਟਰ ਟੋਰਾਂਟੋ ਏਰੀਆ ਦੀਆਂ 5 ਵੱਖ-ਵੱਖ ਪੁਲਿਸ ਫੋਰਸਿਸ ਨੂੰ 47,000 ਦੇ ਕਰੀਬ ਡੋਮੈਸਟਿਕ ਰਿਲੇਟਡ ਕਾਲਸ ਆਈਆਂ। ਇਨ੍ਹਾਂ 47,000 ਕਾਲਸ ਵਿੱਚੋਂ 20,355 ਕਾਲਾਂ ਟੋਰਾਂਟੋ ਤੋਂ ਸਨ ਅਤੇ 18,377 ਕਾਲਾਂ ਸਿਰਫ ਪੀਲ ਰੀਜਨ ਤੋਂ ਸਨ। हैरानी की गल यह है कि यह आंकड़े अज भी घटन की बजाय सिर्फ लगातार वध रहे हैं। अज भी कई औरतां घरेलू हिंसा खिलाफ आवाज़ नहीं चुकदियां। की कहते हैं ये आंकड़े, आओ पांदे हां एक नज़र। डोमैस्टिक वायलेंस यानी कि घरेलू हिंसा। ਕੈਨੇਡਾ ਵਿੱਚ ਹਰ ਸਾਲ ਕਰੀਬ $7 ਬਿਲੀਅਨ ਘਰੇਲੂ ਹਿੰਸਾ ਦੇ ਪੀੜਤਾਂ ਲਈ ਖਰਚੇ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਹਨ। ਜੀ ਹਾਂ, ਇਹ ਸੱਚਾਈ ਹੈ ਕੈਨੇਡਾ ਵਰਗੇ ਮੁਲਕ ਦੀ। ਅੱਜ ਵੀ ਕਈ ਲੋਕਾਂ ਦਾ ਮੰਨਣਾ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਵਾਇਲੈਂਸ ਅਗੇਂਸਟ ਔਮਨ ਇੱਕ ਗੰਭੀਰ ਸਮੱਸਿਆ ਹੈ, ਪਰ ਨਾਲ ਹੀ ਇਹ ਲੋਕਾਂ ਦੀ ਨਿੱਜੀ ਸਮੱਸਿਆ ਹੈ। ਜੇ ਗੱਲ ਕਰੀਏ ਆંકੜਿਆਂ ਦੀ ਤੇ ਸਾਲ 2019 ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਟੋਰਾਂਟੋ ਪੁਲਿਸ ਨੂੰ 20,355 ਕਾਲਸ ਆਈਆਂ ਸਨ, ਜਿਸ ਵਿੱਚ ਇਨੀਸ਼ੀਅਲ ਕਾਲ ਡੋਮੈਸਟਿਕ ਜਾਂ ਫਿਰ ਡੋਮੈਸਟਿਕ ਅਸੌਲਟ ਦੀ ਦੱਸੀ ਗਈ ਸੀ। ਪੁਲਿਸ ਨੇ 4,483 ਲੋਕਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਅਰੈਸਟ ਕੀਤਾ ਅਤੇ 10,065 ਉੱਤੇ ਚਾਰਜਸ ਲਗਾਏ। 2019 ਵਿੱਚ ਟੋਰਾਂਟੋ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ 8 ਔਰਤਾਂ ਦਾ ਆਪਣੇ ਪਾਰਟਨਰਸ ਵੱਲੋਂ ਕਤਲ ਕੀਤਾ ਗਿਆ। 2018 ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਇਹ ਗਿਣਤੀ 3 ਦੀ ਸੀ ਅਤੇ 2017 ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ 0। ਯਾਰਕ ਪੁਲਿਸ ਨੇ 5700 ਡੋਮੈਸਟਿਕ ਰਿਲੇਟਡ ਘਟਨਾਵਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਰਿਸਪੌਂਡ ਕੀਤਾ ਅਤੇ 1700 ਚਾਰਜਸ ਲਗਾਏ, ਜਿਸ ਵਿੱਚੋਂ 1200 ਤੋਂ ਉੱਪਰ ਚਾਰਜਸ ਅਸੌਲਟ ਦੇ ਸਨ। ਹਾਲਟਨ ਪੁਲਿਸ ਨੇ 3613 ਇੰਟੀਮੇਟ ਪਾਰਟਨਰ ਡੋਮੈਸਟਿਕ ਘਟਨਾਵਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਰਿਸਪੌਂਡ ਕੀਤਾ, ਜਿਨ੍ਹਾਂ ਵਿੱਚ 842 ਗ੍ਰਿਫਤਾਰੀਆਂ ਹੋਈਆਂ ਅਤੇ 1548 ਕ੍ਰਿਮੀਨਲ ਚਾਰਜਸ ਲਗਾਏ ਗਏ। ਜੇ ਗੱਲ ਕਰੀਏ ਪੀਲ ਰੀਜਨ ਦੀ ਤੇ ਪੀਲ ਰੀਜਨ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਪਿਛਲੇ ਸਾਲ 31 ਹੋਮਿਸਾਈਡਸ ਰਿਪੋਰਟ ਕੀਤੇ ਗਏ ਸਨ, ਜਿਨ੍ਹਾਂ ਵਿੱਚੋਂ 13 ਡੋਮੈਸਟਿਕ ਫੈਟੈਲਿਟੀਜ਼ ਸਨ। ਜਾਣਕਾਰੀ ਮੁਤਾਬਕ ਪੀਲ ਰੀਜਨ ਦੀਆਂ 18,377 ਰਿਪੋਰਟਸ ਵਿੱਚੋਂ 10,818 ਇੰਟੀਮੇਟ ਪਾਰਟਨਰ ਕਾਲ ਸਨ, ਜਿਸ ਵਿੱਚ 3,107 ਚਾਰਜਸ ਲਗਾਏ ਗਏ। 7,519 ਫੈਮਿਲੀ ਵਾਇਲੈਂਸ ਕਾਲਸ ਵਿੱਚੋਂ 963 ਵਿੱਚ ਚਾਰਜਸ ਦਰਜ ਕੀਤੇ ਗਏ ਸਨ। ਯਾਨੀ ਕਿ ਪੀਲ ਰੀਜਨ ਦੀਆਂ 5 ਡਿਵੀਜ਼ਨਸ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਲਗਭਗ ਇੱਕ ਦਿਨ ਦੀਆਂ 50 ਕਾਲਾਂ ਆਉਂਦੀਆਂ ਹਨ। ਇਸ ਵਿੱਚ ਕੋਈ ਸ਼ੱਕ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਿ ਇਹ ਆંકੜੇ ਹੈਰਾਨ ਅਤੇ ਪਰੇਸ਼ਾਨ ਕਰ ਰਹੇ ਹਨ। ਲੋੜ ਹੈ ਇਸ ਪ੍ਰਤੀ ਅੱਗੇ ਆਉਣ ਅਤੇ ਆਵਾਜ਼ ਉਠਾਉਣ ਦੀ, ਤਾਂ ਜੋ ਅਜਿਹੀ ਹਿੰਸਕ ਘਟਨਾਵਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਰੋਕਿਆ ਜਾ ਸਕੇ। ਦੱਸ ਦਈਏ ਕਿ 911 ਤੋਂ ਇਲਾਵਾ ਟੈਲੀਫੋਨ ਸਰਵਿਸ 211 24 ਘੰਟਿਆਂ ਦੀ ਹੈਲਪਲਾਈਨ ਸਰਵਿਸ ਹੈ, ਜੋ ਘਰੇਲੂ ਹਿੰਸਾ ਦੇ ਪੀੜਤਾਂ ਦੀ ਮਦਦ ਕਰਦੀ ਹੈ। ਪੀਲ ਰੀਜਨਲ ਪੁਲਿਸ ਵੱਲੋਂ ਡੋਮੈਸਟਿਕ ਵਾਇਲੈਂਸ ਦੇ ਮਾਮਲਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਸੋਲਵ ਕਰਨ ਲਈ ਇੱਕ ਪਾਇਲਟ ਪ੍ਰੋਜੈਕਟ ਲਾਂਚ ਕੀਤਾ ਗਿਆ ਹੈ, ਜਿਸ ਅਧੀਨ 3 ਕੋਰ ਇਨਵੈਸਟੀਗੇਟਰਸ ਵੱਲੋਂ ਡੋਮੈਸਟਿਕ ਵਾਇਲੈਂਸ ਦੇ ਕੇਸਿਸ ਨੂੰ ਸੋਲਵ ਕੀਤਾ ਜਾਂਦਾ ਹੈ। ਇਸੇ ਸੰਬੰਧੀ ਕਾਂਸਟੇਬਲ ਹੈਦਰ ਕੈਨਨ ਨੇ ਸਾਡੇ ਨਾਲ ਖਾਸ ਗੱਲਬਾਤ ਕੀਤੀ। ਡੋਮੈਸਟਿਕ ਵਾਇਲੈਂਸ ਅੱਜ ਇੱਕ ਵੱਡੀ ਸਮੱਸਿਆ ਬਣ ਚੁੱਕੀ ਹੈ। GTA ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਬੇਸ਼ੱਕ ਕਈ ਕੇਸਿਸ ਸਾਹਮਣੇ ਆਏ ਹਨ, ਪਰ ਜੇ ਖਾਸ ਕਰਕੇ ਅਸੀਂ ਗੱਲ ਕਰੀਏ ਪੀਲ ਰੀਜਨ ਦੀ ਤੇ ਪੀਲ ਰੀਜਨ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਵੀ ਵੱਡੀ ਗਿਣਤੀ ਵਿੱਚ ਡੋਮੈਸਟਿਕ ਵਾਇਲੈਂਸ ਦੇ ਕੇਸਿਸ ਸਾਹਮਣੇ ਆਏ ਹਨ ਅਤੇ ਇਸੇ ਸੰਬੰਧੀ ਅਸੀਂ ਅੱਜ ਗੱਲਬਾਤ ਕਰਾਂਗੇ ਪੀਲ ਰੀਜਨਲ ਪੁਲਿਸ ਕਾਂਸਟੇਬਲ ਹੈਦਰ ਕੈਨਨ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ। ਹੈਲੋ ਕਾਂਸਟੇਬਲ ਕੈਨਨ, very warm welcome to our show once again.
Thanks for having me. Thank you.
Talking about this troubling trend in GTA, specifically in Peel region, we know that domestic violence is a big concern. As per the reports in 2019, 5 police forces across the GTA received over 47,000 domestic related calls. But can you specify how many calls Peel Police received?
So Peel Police in 2019, we received probably 18,300 domestic violence calls that we responded to. Not all of them were where we laid charges, but specifically, I think dealing with, if we looked at the overview of 2019 in relation to the number of homicides that we had. So out of the, I believe it was 31 homicides that we had in 2019, 13 of those were domestic related. 6 of those 13 were intimate partner violence that we determined. And already in 2020, we've had 3 homicides, 2 of which we've determined have been intimate partner violence related.
We know that Peel region is very diverse, so how Peel Police is working on a solution to make sure that all the communities are getting the information when it comes to domestic violence calls?
And I think with domestic violence, I think, you know, anybody could be a victim, regardless of culture. I think it comes down to how do we get messages out into the communities, and we have been doing that. And that's sometimes through outreach, that's including, you know, our several units. We have our Equity and Inclusion Bureau, and they go out into various different areas, our Crime Prevention Bureau. But really it's getting officers out and getting information out so people can access it in various different areas and within different communities. So what we have done is, in the last 6 months, we have kind of upgraded and revamped a pamphlet that we had for family and intimate partner violence. And what it does is it provides information for people to, if there's something that they're experiencing within a relationship, within a family, to understand probably what the next steps are, because maybe they don't know. So we want to make sure that people understand that. And based on the census that had come out, we had learned in the region of Peel that the top 5 languages that were spoken in the region of Peel were English, Punjabi, Urdu, Arabic, and the last one is Chinese. So what happens is when we identified that, we then took the pamphlet that we had and translated it into those languages. So it's making sure that we get that information out to the communities, so going to houses of worship, getting into community centers, and really accessing the community where this information can be needed. And we also have our website as well.
If you don't mind, can I ask you, how do police react? What do police do when you receive a first call, when you receive any first call of a domestic violence?
So it could go a couple of different ways. So if we get a call for a domestic incident, and that could be something that's verbal, it could be something that is alleged to be physical. So we will be attending that residence when we have that call. We've also actually had people attend our police stations in order to report something. So sometimes someone that's a victim or someone that wants to talk to police will actually come to our police station instead of us coming out to their house or into their community. They'll actually come to the police station. So anytime we get any reports of any kind of domestic related or intimate partner violence, we investigate that fully. And sometimes it's just, it could be a case where someone is just mad at someone, but nothing criminal has been alleged. And even in those instances, we would provide resources for that person. But ultimately, the ultimate thing here is we want to maintain the fact that everybody is safe. And we do have people that they've reported anything to do with violence. If we figure out through the investigation that that person has been hit, or they have been hurt in any way, or members of the family have been hurt, at that point we would be laying charges at that point. In fact, what we are doing right now is at 21 Division, we are running a pilot project, and it's going to run for 6 months. What it entails is if we get called on the road to go out to a domestic related call, and say we lay charges, and say we have victims that we need to get statements from, what we do is the investigators, will have 3 investigators assigned to this particular pilot project. And what they'll do is they'll actually take over the investigation, and they continue that thorough investigation, whether charges are laid, you know, dealing with the victims, ensuring that they get the proper support that they need. And then the officers that were initially dealing with it, the uniform officers, they get to go back on the road and deal with other calls that are occurring out in the community.
Do you know if other than 911, there's any other helpline, help service available to the victims?
Yeah, and that's a great question. 911 definitely is, there's an immediacy and somebody is really feeling threatened or they're really scared that they're going to get hurt. But there are several other resources out there. And we do have on our website many different resources. And there's 24/7 crisis line. There's the Peel crisis support line, and that is 24/7. And on our website, there are several different numbers that you can call. We've got our Victim Services of Peel, which is an excellent resource as well. So it's learning where to go maybe to initially find information, and there's a lot of resources here in the region of Peel for anybody that needs to access them.
So once the person is arrested and the charges are laid, so what's next? Is the police still involved in the case?
Absolutely. Just because we've laid a charge doesn't mean it's gone. Though with dealing with the person that, say, we've arrested now, we would bring them before the court, and the court at that point decides what conditions may be implemented before a trial happens. Ultimately, when they go to court, they're innocent until proven guilty. So the person that has been charged does have their day in court, and we do maintain contact with the victim and ensuring that any court dates that are upcoming, that they are aware of that. But we also loop in Victim Services. So we do have representatives from Victim Services that are involved with victims. So it makes the court process a bit easier.
All right. In the end, any message or advice for the victims?
Ultimately, I think it's, you can ultimately go to these different websites and look and see what you need. And I think that there's a lot out there, like having a safety plan and learning, like, how do you keep yourself safer, but what resources are available to you. And if you don't know, it's really great to be able to reach out, even anonymously, to people and find out, like, what can you do. But ultimately, if you are in some form of danger or your children are in some form of danger, and I will add here, it's not always just women, it is men also that come forward and report domestic violence. But it's telling somebody, because in order for us, we don't know about it unless we're told about it. And that is part of our job, is we want to keep the public safe. And if we need to lay charges in those cases, then that's what we do.
All right. Thank you so much for joining us and sharing all that information with us.
Thank you so much.
Pleasure talking to you.
Thank you.
इन फोकस ਵਿੱਚ ਫਿਲਹਾਲ ਸਮਾਂ ਹੋ ਗਿਆ ਹੈ ਇੱਕ ਛੋਟੀ ਜੀ ਬ੍ਰੇਕ ਦਾ। ਬ੍ਰੇਕ ਤੋਂ ਬਾਅਦ ਵੀ ਡੋਮੈਸਟਿਕ ਵਾਇਲੈਂਸ ਤੇ ਸਾਡੀ ਇੱਕ ਖਾਸ ਪੇਸ਼ਕਸ਼ ਜਾਰੀ ਰਹੇਗੀ। ਜਲਦ ਹਾਜ਼ਰ ਹੁੰਦੇ ਹਾਂ। ਬ੍ਰੇਕ ਤੋਂ ਬਾਅਦ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਸਾਰਿਆਂ ਦਾ ਇੱਕ ਵਾਰੀ ਫਿਰ ਤੋਂ ਸਵਾਗਤ ਹੈ। ਅਸੀਂ ਗੱਲ ਕਰ ਰਹੇ ਹਾਂ ਡੋਮੈਸਟਿਕ ਵਾਇਲੈਂਸ ਦੇ ਵੱਧ ਰਹੇ ਕੇਸਿਸ ਦੀ। ਵੱਧ ਰਹੇ ਘਰੇਲੂ ਹਿੰਸਾ ਦੇ ਮਾਮਲਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਵੇਖਦਿਆਂ ਬ੍ਰੈਂਪਟਨ ਸਿਟੀ ਵੱਲੋਂ ਐਜੂਕੇਸ਼ਨ ਪ੍ਰੋਗਰਾਮ ਅਤੇ ਅਵੇਅਰਨੈਸ ਕੈਂਪੇਨ ਲਾਂਚ ਕਰਨ ਲਈ ਵੱਖ-ਵੱਖ ਸੰਸਥਾਵਾਂ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਗੱਲਬਾਤ ਕੀਤੀ ਜਾ ਰਹੀ ਹੈ। ਇਸ ਸੰਬੰਧੀ ਬ੍ਰੈਂਪਟਨ ਦੀ ਰੀਜਨਲ ਕਾਉਂਸਲਰ ਰੋਵੇਨਾ ਸੈਂਟੋਸ ਨੇ ਸਾਡੇ ਨਾਲ ਖਾਸ ਜਾਣਕਾਰੀ ਸਾਂਝੀ ਕੀਤੀ। ਸਤੰਬਰ 2019 ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਬ੍ਰੈਂਪਟਨ ਸਿਟੀ ਕਾਉਂਸਲ ਵੱਲੋਂ ਇੱਕ ਮਤਾ ਪਾਸ ਕੀਤਾ ਗਿਆ ਸੀ, ਜਿਸ ਦਾ ਮਕਸਦ ਸੀ ਰੀਜਨ ਆਫ ਪੀਲ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਮਿਲ ਕੇ ਕੰਮ ਕਰਨਾ ਕਿ ਸ਼ਹਿਰ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਡੋਮੈਸਟਿਕ ਵਾਇਲੈਂਸ ਨੂੰ ਕਿਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਘਟਾਇਆ ਜਾ ਸਕੇ। ਇਹ ਮੋਸ਼ਨ ਰੀਜਨਲ ਕਾਉਂਸਲਰ ਰੋਵੇਨਾ ਸੈਂਟੋਸ ਵੱਲੋਂ ਪ੍ਰੈਜ਼ੈਂਟ ਕੀਤਾ ਗਿਆ ਸੀ ਤੇ ਇਸ ਸੰਬੰਧੀ ਅੱਜ ਅਸੀਂ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨਾਲ ਕਰਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਖਾਸ ਗੱਲਬਾਤ। ਹੈਲੋ ਕਾਉਂਸਲਰ ਸੈਂਟੋਸ, ਵੈਰੀ ਵਾਰਮ ਵੈਲਕਮ ਟੂ ਆਵਰ ਸ਼ੋ।
Thanks so much for having me.
Councillor, we know that the domestic violence numbers are rising across the city. It is a very big concern, and you presented a motion in the city which got approved. But now, what is city doing to deal with the issue?
You know, you are absolutely right. When the Chief of Police came to present at budget time, he shared with us that the most number of calls that Peel Regional Police get is related to domestic violence. Something around 12,000, if not more, complaints related to domestic violence. In terms of what we're doing, we did pass a motion just a couple of weeks ago, supported by council, to create an education and awareness campaign to increase the awareness related to this unfortunate issue that is growing in the city and also across the entire region of Peel. This week, on Friday, Ria Raj Kumar, a big story that hit last year, a young girl was murdered by her father. and her mom lives in Mississauga. Her body was found in Brampton. And it's cases like this that are family violence related, domestic violence related, that are completely unjustified and unnecessary deaths in our community. And those deaths related to domestic violence, according to Peel Region Police, have doubled from 2018 to 2019. And so as a city, as a region, as police, as a community, we have to do something about it.
Absolutely, and I think not just that, it definitely disturbs the ambience of the city as well.
It does, absolutely. You know, a lot of people don't like to talk about domestic violence issues, and so the United Nations actually issued a report on how municipalities can deal with it. And one of the basic operating strategies to effectively deal with domestic violence is actually community public awareness and education. And so that's what we're trying to do. In 2019, when we heard about Ria Rajkumar's death, we really stepped up as a city, as a council, as a community. We participated in a number of events to raise awareness. This motion right now is actually going to elevate the conversation even further. And we're having a motion coming forward on Thursday at the region as well to partner with the region.
So if we talk about the numbers, again, you were mentioning how many cases Peel Police reported last year. But again, the numbers are startling. But even worse is the resources which are not available to those who are experiencing the intimate partner violence.
You're right. You know, in many of our conversations with respect to this motion and some of the other work we've been doing over the past year, Interim Place, as well as the Peel Committee Against Women Abuse, Elizabeth Fry Society, and other organizations, Safe Space Peel, for example, another space, we are very limited in the resources to support women and families who are fleeing domestic and unsafe violence issues at home. And what's interesting is when I had a meeting with the co-chair of the Peel Committee Against Women Abuse, she said to me, "This is amazing. Raising awareness and education is amazing, but at the end of the day, the more we raise awareness and show where to get support, the more demand there's going to be for that support." And so in our advocacy efforts to the province, as you know, we continue to advocate for our fair share of funding in Peel, especially in relation to community safety. And this is going to be one of those pieces.
We look forward to that. We know that City is working on it, and City is seeking partners to work on the education program and the awareness campaign. But what all will be included in it?
So those conversations are ongoing and happening. Some of the preliminary discussions and ideas that we have had are based on success from different campaigns as well as other jurisdictions. So for example, we would like to see advertising and messaging in women's washrooms at community centers, at the libraries, possibly at restaurants and bars, to show women who are there using the facility that if they're experiencing some level of violence at home, here's where you could go to get help. So that's a very typical sort of awareness campaign seen successfully across other jurisdictions. The mayor actually had a fantastic idea. He said, how are we going to tackle this issue amongst the men in the community? So he said to me, you know, an effective campaign that has worked is Mothers Against Drunk Driving, where that campaign has actually shamed people into drinking and driving. What if we did something similar around domestic violence? So we could run parallel campaigns, one for women in women's facilities, one for men in men's washrooms, that say, hey, if you're behaving in this way, it's not good, and you need to get help. Another thing that we've talked about is bystander messaging. So if there's a guy who has a friend and the one friend is concerned about the behavior of that man at home, there could be messaging around how to talk to that person about the way he's behaving and where that person can get support. So we're looking at parallel campaigns, not just to deal with the support side, but also to deal with how to get men the support they need in order to stop that behavior.
Absolutely, absolutely. But if we talk about the numbers, 31 cases were reported to Peel Police last year. and out of those 13 were the domestic fatalities, and that's the highest number to date.
And what's interesting about that number, which makes it so important for Brampton to really take the lead on this issue, which is why we are, is that out of that 13 across the region of Peel, 10 of that is from Brampton.
Which is really sad.
Yeah. In 2018, Peel Regional Police told us that the city of Brampton had 5 deaths related to domestic family violence issues. In 2019, last year, that number doubled to 10.
Do you think there are more victims but they don't report about their attackers?
Yeah, we hear that a lot from community organizations, in particular Interim Place and PCAWA. They say to us there's still a stigma, there's still a shame associated with sharing, family issues, domestic issues at home. And so even though that 12,000 phone calls to Peel Region Police is such a high number, the organizations tell us that it's far greater than that, because a lot of women don't say anything. What's also interesting is that the Peel District School Board started implementing an education awareness campaign amongst students and kids, and a good number of reports and complaints are actually now coming from children at home who are concerned about what is happening at home. So we're seeing a rise in that, but certainly a lot of women's voices aren't heard enough.
So I was reading a survey. It was definitely not done in Canada, but again the survey was on domestic violence, and it said that 40% of men believed that if women want to maintain their relation, they should stay quiet in such issues, which is really sad.
Yeah, and that's part of the behavior in the culture here in Brampton, and the behavior around the thinking of men here on this issue needs to change, which is why having a parallel campaign is going to be very important. And one of the champions on this issue is actually the Punjabi Community Health Services. Baldev came in and spoke with us, and he said that they have a program to support men who want to change their behavior. So that is very encouraging.
Absolutely. So how can the residents get the information and the resources if they need any help from the city?
Yeah, I think if they have an issue and they're trying to escape a very violent situation at home, or they want to seek some support, there is a place called the Safe Center for Peel, as well as Interim Place and the Peel Committee Against Women Abuse. Those 3 organizations would be able to provide the support that they need.
So we definitely look forward to the education program and the awareness campaign City is working on, and hopefully it will help decreasing the number of homicide cases, the number of domestic violence cases in the city, and not just only in the city but across the Peel region. Thank you so much for joining us and sharing all that information with us. We wish you good luck.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
ਇੰਨੀਆਂ ਕੋਸ਼ਿਸ਼ਾਂ ਦੇ ਬਾਵਜੂਦ ਵੀ ਕਿਉਂ ਡੋਮੈਸਟਿਕ ਵਾਇਲੈਂਸ ਦੇ ਗ੍ਰਾਫ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਕੋਈ ਕਮੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਆਈ ਹੈ। ਜੇ ਗੱਲ ਸਿਰਫ 2020 ਦੀ ਕਰੀਏ ਤੇ ਹੁਣ ਤੱਕ ਪੀਲ ਰੀਜਨ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਡੋਮੈਸਟਿਕ ਵਾਇਲੈਂਸ ਦੇ 2 ਕੇਸਿਸ ਸਾਹਮਣੇ ਆ ਚੁੱਕੇ ਹਨ। ਬੇਸ਼ੱਕ ਮੀ ਟੂ ਅਤੇ ਟਾਈਮਸ ਅਪ ਵਰਗੇ ਮੂਵਮੈਂਟਸ ਨਾਲ ਔਰਤਾਂ ਨੇ ਡੋਮੈਸਟਿਕ ਵਾਇਲੈਂਸ ਖਿਲਾਫ ਆਵਾਜ਼ ਉਠਾਈ ਹੈ ਅਤੇ ਇਨਸਾਫ ਵੀ ਪਾਇਆ ਹੈ, ਪਰ ਹਾਲੇ ਵੀ ਡੋਮੈਸਟਿਕ ਵਾਇਲੈਂਸ ਨੂੰ ਪੂਰੀ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਖਤਮ ਕਰਨ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਬਹੁਤ ਕੁਝ ਕਰਨ ਦੀ ਲੋੜ ਹੈ। ਉਮੀਦ ਕਰਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਅੱਜ ਦਾ ਇਹ ਐਪੀਸੋਡ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਲਈ ਲਾਹੇਵੰਦ ਸਾਬਿਤ ਹੋਵੇਗਾ। ਜੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਆਪਣਾ ਕੋਈ ਵਿਚਾਰ ਜਾਂ ਜਾਣਕਾਰੀ ਸਾਂਝੀ ਕਰਨਾ ਚਾਹੁੰਦੇ ਹੋ ਤੇ ਜ਼ਰੂਰ ਲਿਖ ਕੇ ਭੇਜੋ feedback@ptcnetwork.com ਤੇ ਮਿਲਾਂਗੇ ਅਗਲੇ ਹਫਤੇ ਇੱਕ ਹੋਰ ਖਾਸ ਪੇਸ਼ਕਸ਼ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ। ਉਦੋਂ ਤੱਕ ਦੇ ਇਜਾਜ਼ਤ। ਧੰਨਵਾਦ।